Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I've had to come in out of the garden. I was doing things. But you know, we were in forecast for rain. It's been chucking it down. On and off. Not all the time, but every time I've thought and I've looked, oh, it looks like it's stopping, because I was taking all the weeds between the paving on my patio, and I was nearly finished. I only had one line of the bottom line of paving things to do in the bottom, and the rain started. It had started before that, but it was just little spots and that, so I kept on working, and then it just got heavier and heavier, so I had to leave it and come in the house. So I started doing other things while I was in the house, hoping the rain was going to stop. It has now. It's lovely and sunny now, but it is now 5:15, and I'll be doing my tea, so I don't go out after my tea. But anyway, I'll show you what I have been doing. I'll put Derek's down. So I managed to get that finished. This is for Emma. And that's just the crochet done, the whole crochet. I have to put the lining on it, but that's what it's going to look like when it gets finished. And I'll sort the crochet out tomorrow sometime and get that finished. So I was doing that, managed to get that finished with not being able to get out in the garden. But yesterday I was doing some other things as well. I'll get my bag. This was a little cardigan I started a little while ago. Part of one of my patterns, the raindrop pattern. And I had got the back and the front. I started getting orders again, so I had to put that down. But I picked it up again. I thought I'm going to spend an hour on doing that, so I've done part of the other front, and I'll do a little bit of that after my tea. I'll spend another hour on that after my tea, and I may get that piece finished, and then I'll be on with Derek's again. So after I finish this one, I only have the 20, this is 22, I only have the 24-inch to do, so I'll be able to write out the pattern and get that pattern out for anyone that might be waiting for it. So that's what I was doing with that. Put those away out of the way. And I have had a couple of cards, just cards, not Happy Meal, anything like that. This was one, this one's from Patricia. Thank you. A play on words, isn't it? You. And she says, "Thank you, Sheila, for the beautiful 2 baby cardigans and the blanket you knit for me. You are a very clever lady. Looking forward to ordering from you again. That's love from Patricia." And she says, "P.S. Love all your videos. Keep making them, Sheila." So thank you for that, Patricia. That's a lovely card. And then I had one, this one came from Emma. She sent the payment for what I'm making for her, but she sent it in a card. It's a lovely little card that's got like, they're not butterflies. I can't remember what you call those ones with the long thing. They're like butterflies, but some other sort of flies. And she says, "Hi Sheila, here's the money for payment for what I'm doing, the bag, and I'll be doing a yarn bag holder for her as well." Says, "I hope you're enjoying the weather and making the most of the garden while it lasts. I do enjoy your videos and seeing what you make when I get the chance, as Emma is carer for her parents. So it takes a little out of her time for what she has to do, but our father's been in hospital, but he'll be coming out soon. So anyway, keep up the good work. Take care, So thank you, Emma. That's another lovely card. I get lots of cards. I've got piles and piles of them in my back room of cards that people send to me. But anyway, that's that. I'll be knitting a little bit of Derek's while I'm sitting here. And while I was in my garden today, the girl that lives next door to me, she's had some, well, there was only one fella in today. He was doing things in her garden and that. And I was watching him, what he was doing, because I was thinking about asking if he do some things for me. I'd pay him for doing some things in my garden. But I was watching very closely first, because that same young girl did have somebody in her garden one time, a couple, a man and a woman, and they were doing things in her garden, and I got them into my garden this time, and what I paid for was rubbish. They were supposed to dig over one part of my garden because there was a lot of weeds there. What they had done was I had just cut the weeds off at the top and just broke the soil up a little bit to make it look like it had been dug over, and all them weeds were back within a week. None of them had been dug out, and there was other things they were supposed to be doing, and I thought, I'm going to see what this fella's doing and how he's doing it. He was doing a good job in her. So, and I had mentioned to Vicky, that's what they call the young girl next door, I had mentioned to her that I was looking for someone to do things, some of the heavy things in my garden that I just can't manage anymore. And I think she had mentioned that to him, because he did ask me about it, and I told him, brought him into a garden, showed him what I wanted doing, and I told him there was the one part down the bottom of my patio, one big part I wanted dug over, so if I want to grow anything, I'll be able to put stuff in. This will probably be for next year now, but once it's been dug over and that, I can take care of it better. And then I showed him all the rest of the garden where my compost bins are, and that needed all the weeds taken away and the soil that's underneath dug over, just for to tidy it up and that. And then I have a patio behind my outhouse. Used to be my husband's workplace, where I used to do a lot of things with, all these power tools and things like that, and had lots of wood. And when my grandkids were little, the little boy, that's Cheryl's brother David, he used to like to play behind there, because my husband got bags of nails for him, and little child's size hammers and things like that, and he used to be hammering and banging all day long when they stopped at my house every weekend. The poor neighbour on the other side, he must have been demented, because the noise used to get on my nerves. All he used to do was hammer and bang and making anything, showing us little things he had made out of the wood, he'd hammer and nailing pieces together. And but they enjoyed themselves doing little things like that. And that's what that patio used to be used for. My husband and the kids and that all loved to do things behind there. But there's a lot of rotten old wood there now, and it's full of weeds, and weeds coming up between the paving and the barrels. I've got like those blue barrel things that I used to keep things in. I used to grow things in them actually, but I don't need them anymore. So I was asking him, and there's a lot of old bits of paving slabs that were no good and all that. And he said, oh, that would be handy, because the girl next door is getting him to put a patio. And I was asking if he could get rid of all this rubbish on there. And he said, well, the paving things will be hardcore, so I'll be able to smash it up for the patio, so I can just wheel them out into next door's garden. But he's going to get rid of all the other rubbish and everything. And then he said he'd have a look outside the garden to see what he could do with all the brambles and everything that's grown. It's all as nearly as high. Well, some of them, the brambles, are even higher than my fence. You can see them at the top of the fence, and they keep coming underneath the fence and through the fence, and you're probably going to trim that down. I tried to trim some of it down the other day, but my trimmer's just not strong enough. It's just you know, one of those small ones for just for grass, not for the stuff that's grown behind there. He's going to sort that out for me as well. So I said, well, you're on, I says, you might as well have a look at my front garden, because that one's sorting out as well. But one's digging over, and the border one's digging over around the lawn, and I did have a lot of flowers in. I think I have a peony rose bush still there, like, but there's a lot of primroses and things like that come up, so we'll have to get him to dig them out and keep them separate so I can put them back again afterwards. But that's what he's going to do. He's going to sort it out, and he's given me a good price for doing the whole lot, so I'm happy about that. He's not taking advantage of me, like, that wouldn't matter. I would pay what he wanted anyway, because I just cannot do the things that I used to do. But he's going to get rid of a lot of rubbish in the garden as well, so he must have the means of transport for probably take stuff to the tip and wherever you go. So I'm happy about that. And I'm just sitting talking while I'm knitting, and I should be knitting two and purling two and knitting two and purling two, and I just knit all the way across this row. So I'm going to have to take it out. That's what happens when you're not taking notice of what you should be doing. But anyway, I'm going to be sorting my tea out shortly, and I was really annoyed about the rain. You know, we've had so much rain, and then I do need some rain on my potatoes and my peas that's grown, because that's just shown through the soil now. I can see all the line of them where they're grown, where they're coming through, and that. So they do need a little bit of water, because I've never had any water since they were planted. The rain stopped after I planted them. Might have had a little bit of rain sometime, I can't remember now. But anyway, that's just a little bit to keep up to date with what I'm doing, and I might take my phone out tomorrow before the lad does all the brambles and things outside my garden, because it's a reverse cycle path. And I might take my phone out and just show you what it looks like outside there. For to be a cycle path and never anyone doing anything to it, it's never been maintained since the day it was put there. I think it was the lottery money that paid for it, but I think the council is supposed to maintain it, but they don't. And they should do. But I think people have been, I used to do this myself, people I think that walk along it quite a lot. There were some places where we were going up and there's a crossing that crosses over a railway line just outside my garden, just a couple of gates up, and they were actually coming over in an archway. They're coming across. We were having to go underneath them. And I went up one day, I went up with a little clipper things, and I was clipping bits off as I was going up. But there's a lot more being taken off, so I think other people do the same. I think they carry those little clipper things with them. Me and my husband used to do that when we used to go for walks, when we had a dog and that, we used to go for walks around the tracks and that in the summer for places like that. That's what we used to carry, little snipper things to cut the stuff that was coming across the path out of the way, so it wasn't catching your clothes and your hair and things like that. But I think I'll take my phone out tomorrow before the lad starts cutting it down outside, and just to let you see, just to show you what it looks like, the reverse cycle path, what it shouldn't look like, but it does. So that's my little bit for today. So give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.